Springer. Hurry, go look at Christmas lights. Come here. Come here.
You're so handsome.
Springer.
You're so handsome.
Come here, Spring.
Yeah.
Come here. Is the camera terrifying? Come here. It is your first Christmas, isn't it, honey? Yeah. Are you so excited? Oh my goodness.
Technically, I only have one kid left.
Yeah. Springer, sit.
Yeah. You're so cute, honey.
Springer, your singing is beautiful, but you're a little off pitch. Oh my goodness. Honey bunches. Spring.
The flame.
Leave you up here. Look at that.
No matter where I put my camera. Oh yeah, never mind.
I saw a sign saying
Whoa.
airport bench.
Yeah, that's where the planes land, bro. This looks like where they shot one of Bastille's music videos.
Yeah. That's so cool. Like shoots now.
My camera's just like, please remove the fog.
Oh, that's so unfocused. Looks like a fire.
It looks like when they turned on the Death Star and it started charging up.
Oh, for that.
Yeah.
Every decade and music style you love.
No. That's not good to go. Spring, there's another baby here.
Hey, down. Roll over.
Let me see.
Good dog. Ooh. Sit down. What are you doing? Sit down. Sit down. Pop.
Yeah. No, the intake.
Sit. Ooh. Good. Sit down. Sit down. Bang. Well, you're just rolling over now, huh? Sit down. You're playing dead and rolling over?
Yeah.
You do a little spin. Ooh, that was a slow one. Spin. This way. Oh, you're just rolling, aren't you?
Yeah.
Alright guys, so now we have made it to the part of the annual Christmas episode where I just show and talk about everything that I got and did. So yeah, so I got three main things, which first off is this over here, which is a throw or a blanket. I don't know where they call it throws, because usually we don't call it throws in the US. But basically, whenever I'm like watching a movie upstairs or whatever, just laying down like watching YouTube right here or whatever, I would just use this blanket right here, which is my Bobcats one. And it's basically just the same like Seattle Seahawks one, but with a different design, Bobcats of course. But it lasted me a while, but I mean now I am 5'11", so I'm and I don't have that much more to grow, so I think I'll probably get to 6 foot. But that's about it. But these blankets are only about like 5'9" or so. So yeah, so they like I always have my feet sticking out. But yeah, this one, my mom and dad recently, like a couple weeks ago, got this like new like comforter, like which is like this part, and it was just super fluffy and soft on their bed. And I was saying like, man, I really want one of these. It's like so comfortable and soft. Yeah. And so all of a sudden they surprised me, and I got like a blanket of it, and I believe it's like 6 foot by 7.5 feet. So pretty much no matter how I lay under it, I could literally like fit my whole body under it. So yeah, that should last me forever pretty much. And also, I wish you guys could feel it. You might be able to tell by the lighting on it, but yeah, it is like the softest thing. It feels like Springer's little guppy. under his chin if it was made into a blanket. But yeah, so absolutely love that. Didn't know I could love a blanket so much that I got for Christmas. But yeah, so then the other thing is this right here, this radio alarm clock. So you guys know I had my previous one. If you want to see it for whatever reason, it's been in the background of probably every video I've ever done in here. Because I used to have a little blue one, but I can't remember if I had that when I started my YouTube channel. I might have had the other one, but yeah. So the other one I got around 2014 or so, because that's when I started my channel. So yeah, so I've had it ever since then. But basically, recently I've just been listening to music off my iPod because one night at like 3 in the morning, all of a sudden my last radio, it just like, if you guys know how my Candy Corn LMG sounds and Fortnite Save the World, it just started sounding like that. Like I don't even keep the radio that loud, but it like amplified itself, and then it just like starts just like blasting that sound, and it was horrible. And it just sounded like really bad feedback or something. And then I tried it a few more nights after that, and it kept on doing it, and it would like slowly build up, and every once in a while you would hear like and then it would just like full blast. And I did actually figure it out once if I turned it on and then I had like my iPod or my phone or whatever, if I held it right here, like nothing would happen, but then as soon as I turned it on, it would start like getting some feedback, and then I could go like that, like go farther and back, and it would be like so yeah, so it was like feedback like that. But my dad was saying like maybe it was just like when it did that feedback thing, maybe it was just because like my phone was downloading some updates or whatever. But I'm not too sure because it happened like multiple times throughout the night, and my phone usually only downloads like one update a week because I don't have that many apps or anything. But yeah, so I finally just got this. It's, of course, a way more new one. The last one came out in, like, 2013. I don't know when this one came out, but either way, it's definitely more new. But yeah, this one I'd say looks pretty much just as cool, but it's also a lot smaller, because the other one was, like, wider and a little bit taller. Yeah, so... yeah, the last one said like the outside temperature, but it only worked for like a week. And then it said the indoor temperature, but I never really like paid attention. Like if it was hot, it was hot, and if it was cold, it was cold. I didn't really care to see the temperature down here. And it also had like the projector and whatnot, but this one is more simple, but at the same time it's like not, because the last one also had like a pull-out auxiliary cord and a little like USB port right there. But this one actually does. It doesn't have a pull-out auxiliary cord, but you can plug in an auxiliary cord right there. And then it has battery backup and a USB port right there. And also the speaker sounds better, I'd say too. It has like a little more bass, and the speaker's actually not too bad. Yeah, so also this one can connect Bluetooth, and that's how I tested it out when I first got it yesterday. Yeah, so you can do Bluetooth there, but also it can show like the month and day, and of course the time and the date right there, Thursday, because today is the day after Christmas. And then also when it's PM, it'll just be blank, but when it's AM, it'll say AM right there. So no, it is not 12:57 AM. Yeah, so it's just a little black box, and then also you can turn the brightness up on like the time and whatnot, and you can click this, and you can't really see like how blue that is on camera, but maybe if I like shut off the light or something. Yeah, it looks a little whiter on camera, but it's actually pretty darn blue, but it's really cool because it just looks like a floating black box on top of light. So yeah, I guess it's like a night light. I tried it last night, but I had to shut it off because it's like it's just kind of too bright, because when it's pitch black in here, like around here kind of blocks it off, so there's like not much light around here, but then everywhere else it's just like beaming blue light around here, and you can't turn up the brightness of, or you can't turn up or down the brightness of that. Yeah, it does look really, really awesome. So yeah, so that is that, and then just, of course, all the controls right there on the top. So yeah, so, and also kind of, it also is black and silver, so it still like matches my lamp and whatnot. And then also while I was at it, I just dusted off the rest of my room and whatnot, and I kind of just rearranged some of my car models right here. Not too much, but yeah. But lastly, I don't have them on me right now, but I got some upgraded RAM. So you guys know I have a pre-built PC, but slowly I am kind of like upgrading it to make it upgraded and not really a pre-built, since I'm upgrading it and putting my own parts in there. But yeah, so the whole time it came with just one stick of 8 gigabytes of RAM, which if you guys don't know, I believe that's the bare minimum for Fortnite for PC. So yeah, so as you guys know, I ran it perfectly fine, but whenever I started filming, if you guys know, whenever I'm filming Fortnite videos, I'm never like performing or playing as well as I ever could, because whenever I started filming, it would drop my frames by about 15 or so, and it was just a lot laggier, and sometimes I would freeze and stuff. But yeah, but if you guys don't know what RAM does, it basically upgrades and makes it so you can run more programs on your PC at once without slowing it down, the more RAM you have. And I didn't even know this. I just mainly wanted more RAM so I could film more smooth. But apparently it was way better than I ever could have thought, because apparently it affects frames so much. Like, I was able to run like 100 frames max, like in game and whatnot. But now when I'm filming, I usually turn down my settings. But now when I'm on my regular settings, I can still film at 60 FPS, which is great. And I can like play the regular game at about 110 FPS or so. But also, whenever I always starting this season mainly, because this season's been worse FPS for like everybody, it seems like. But starting this season, whenever I switched over from playing Save the World to Battle Royale, I always had to restart my game, because then literally for about 3 or 4 games of Battle Royale, whenever I tested it out, I would have unplayable FPS. Like, I wouldn't, my first game, I wouldn't unfreeze until like I was on the ground, and then I would just have horrible FPS and just be freezing, and like, it was just horrible. But now I don't have to do that. I can just switch and play. And then also on Save the World, it usually took me about a minute and a half or so to load in and out of missions. And then also when I'm sitting in the lobby for a while, like talking on Discord and whatnot, for whatever reason, then it would take me, once I finally went into another mission, it would take me forever to load in, and then once I did, for the first 2 or 3 minutes, I would have horrible FPS. But now, I was like laughing and getting chills last night, because I loaded into a mission in, I believe, 12 seconds or so, and it was after I was sitting in the lobby for like an hour talking on Discord. Yeah, so, and then once I even loaded in, I didn't have any FPS. I just loaded in and I was good to go, and I never had a single FPS problem last night, and it was just probably the smoothest I've ever ran Fortnite last night. Yeah. And then also when I was loading out, for some reason, like, loading out is even faster, and I was loading out, it was just weird, because usually I can like take a drink or like do whatever while I'm waiting to load out. But literally I look down and then just look back up, and it was there. Like, it was probably 8 seconds to load out now. So nice. So if you're looking to just get some better FPS and just like upgrade your gaming experience and also just regular experience, because I was also like opening web pages and just browsing the internet and whatnot, like just opening new pages and whatnot. It was taking way faster than it usually does. So yeah, so if you're just looking for an overall better PC experience and frames and opening up stuff and whatnot, just simply like upgrade your RAM. So yeah, so next thing I'm planning to upgrade, I believe, is right now I have an SSD or an HDD or whatever. I can't really remember. Brayton knows all that stuff. But yeah, it's basically like a built-in hard drive or something. I can't remember. But basically, if you get something else, like when you put in there or whatever, then it apparently makes it even faster or whatever. So yeah, so that'll probably be the next thing. It's about as much as the RAM, because the RAM I got was by Crucial Ballistics, and I can't remember what the number means, but it's the 2666 one. It goes up to about 3500, and it starts at about like 1900 or so. But my PC is like right about in the middle. It's overclockable, but not by much. Yeah, so I got that, and of course it was actually 2 sticks of 16 gigabytes. They look pretty darn cool. I'll probably put a picture of him right here. So yeah, so my last one was actually, I have it in the case up there, the little case that my new RAM came in. But it was basically just like a cord that basically, if you know what a Raspberry Pi looks like, it's basically just one of those, just like green and has all the techno stuff on it. And it was by Samsung, I never even knew that. But yeah, but it was basically just one little basic looking stick of RAM for 8 gigabytes. But now I have 2 sticks. I only have 2 slots in my PC. I thought I had 3 or 4 or whatever. But yeah, so they look pretty cool. They got like black, or they got like gray digital camouflage and whatnot on them. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it that I have to talk about. All 3 of those, my main presents, and also of course my stocking got some candy and whatnot. So yeah, so big thanks to my mom and dad for that, all that, and I'm super thankful and everything. And yeah, I didn't know. Just simply upgrading my RAM and whatnot could make such a huge difference. But also just some stuff that's not, I didn't get for Christmas, but I did get recently, is this. So yeah, I finally upgraded my phone. So if you guys don't know, I'm 18, and I've had my first phone since 2012, which was like 2 years before I started my channel. So I was probably 13 or 12 or so. Yeah, and I've had this ever since, which is a Verizon Pantech Hotshot, which may look like a smartphone, which oh, it's dead. But it kind of is, but I don't know what the camera is, but for some reason there's nothing that can get under there, but as you can see, it like fogged up or whatever. But the camera's always been absolutely horrible, and somehow you can apparently go on YouTube and Facebook and whatnot, but I never did. I think it said like it charges every single time you go on one of those pages or whatever. So yeah, I never did. It lasted me until then, but basically the only time I went on my phone was to basically just call or text or whatever. But yeah, other than that, I used to take pictures on it or whatever until my big brother gave me my iPod, and ever since then, this is what I've been doing. But this has started getting outdated. Of course, Clash of Clans hasn't been able to run on the iPod 5th generation for about a year now. And also the screen is completely like shattered, ever since Bailey gave it to me. Yeah, but I still use this, of course. I was listening to music, like I was saying, overnight, and yeah, I still use it for some things. But we got this. So basically, we used to have Verizon, but we all switched to T-Mobile, and we got a plan where my mom and dad, Brayton, and me got this, which is a Galaxy Galaxy A10e. So yeah, so it can't run Fortnite, but it can run Battle Breakers. I didn't really care for it to run Fortnite. The only reason maybe is to like get the glow skin or whatever, I'm not sure. But yeah, don't really care about that. Mainly just Battle Breakers, so I can level up and get the Save the World heroes and whatnot. Plus, Battle Breakers is actually a pretty good game, and getting pretty high level on that. But yeah, and then I also got this awesome case off of Amazon. You guys know I love carbon fiber, and probably my second favorite looking material after that is brushed metal. And you can see I literally found a case with both. You can see it's like outlined in carbon fiber. No, it is not real carbon fiber, but it definitely looks pretty real. And then I got the brushed metal. It's all plastic. And then like this part's like hard rubber. But yeah, so you can see it does have a little bit of a lip. It doesn't look like much on camera, but yeah, if I dropped it like that, it wouldn't hit the screen unless there was like a pebble or whatever. And around the camera, there's no way anything's getting in there unless if it hits a pebble. But yeah, and then also, you guys know my pop socket. I used to have it on my iPod for the past like couple years, but yeah, I took it off because they said they're reusable up to 100 times. And yeah, I put it on my phone. Which at first I was worried about because like some of the gel on there kind of got scuffed or whatever, and I wasn't, and also on this like textured case, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to put it on this case. But yeah, I just rinsed it off, waited, and it didn't really feel that sticky, but I put it on here, and I was doing tests where I was like shaking it and whatnot, and yeah, it seems completely fine. So yeah, so that's pretty good because pop sockets are like $15. I don't really know why, but yeah. I don't know how much I would believe that you can reuse them up to 100 times, because I had a little trouble just using it my second time. But then I also did it for my mom. I took it off hers, which for whatever reason it came off her last phone case so much easier than my iPod one did. And then I put it on her new phone. But she has like, she got a case with like all these like patterns and whatnot. Her pop socket also has patterns, so her back of her phone looks pretty trippy. But yeah, so you guys heard my notification sound a second ago there, but yeah, so as you can see, I didn't even type in my code. It actually has facial recognition, which actually works pretty darn well, because it doesn't actually work with anybody else like at all, but as soon as it sees me in any sort of decent lighting, it will instantly open. But yeah, trying not to have it see my face so I can show you the screensaver. You can see right there, it doesn't look near as good on camera, but yeah, I actually have like a nebula, and you can see it's actually animated, so that's really darn cool. But yeah, and then I can type in the code, or I can just have it look at my face, and then it will just unlock. So yeah, so then you can see right there, of course, finally got Clash of Clans. I've been grinding on that since I haven't been able to for like the past year. And yeah, so now I'm Town Hall 12, or yeah, Town Hall 12, and getting pretty darn high up on there. And then Battle Breakers, got Call of Duty Mobile and PUBG Mobile. And yeah, and then all my like regular social media apps and whatnot. And now I can actually talk on Discord on my phone, which is very nice when I can't be on the PC or whatever. And then yeah, you can see my background's just blue. And yeah, so that is that. And I also got a screen recorder and whatnot, so if we ever make any videos on this or whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. The camera is pretty much just about as good as my iPod. It's not like amazing, but it's definitely better than that phone ever was. But yeah, so that is that. Figured I'd show that right now. I also have a screen protector on it, as you can see right there. So yeah, so got that, and it is a glass screen protector, I believe plexiglass or whatever. But yeah, so that is that. And also the only other thing that I really want to show is, you guys know, a long time ago now, actually a couple days before my birthday, which is October 23rd, of course, I got my new keyboard, and I still haven't showed the video clip of it, how all the functions and whatnot. So I figured I'd finally show that. So I will show that at the end. But first things, I just wanted to say a couple things. So yeah, so first off, hopefully you guys all had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year, or a good holiday. Sorry, I don't want anyone to get triggered. Yeah, just a good holiday and a Happy New Year. So yeah, so I know this one was a lot focused on Springer, which I'm sure you guys didn't mind, but it is, of course, his first Christmas. He's almost 11 months old now. And yeah, that was his first Christmas, not only on Earth, in his current dog form, but also his first Christmas with us. So yeah, you guys saw his little hoodie, says first Christmas and whatnot. But yeah, so he was a pretty good boy. He didn't attack the tree or anything. We kind of thought he might. But yeah, you guys can also see in that clip that we have been teaching him some tricks, like me, Brayton, and Dad, and a little bit my mom. But yeah. So my dad taught him like the spinning around thing, and then also Brayton and him have been working on playing dead, and also me a little bit. And then I taught him roll over, which took a little while, but yeah, I finally taught him roll over. We were just trying to teach him play dead and then roll over, since play dead kind of transfers into roll over. But yeah, and then also of course he sits and lays down and stays and whatnot, and then he boops, like boops his nose on your hand, and gives you his paws so you can shake as well and everything. So yeah, pretty darn awesome. Also thinking that he's only 11 months old, about that he can already do all those tricks, but of course it's better to train your dog obesity and tricks and whatever else the younger they are. The reason Taco only knew a few tricks and whatnot is because of course we didn't even get him until he was about 4 years old, and he lived until about 14. But yeah, but his obesity was always so good. I mean, Taco was a very, very good dog. But yeah, so, but we might as well start training Springer and just make him just evolve him into a max tier doggo. But yeah, so we'll keep updating you as that goes on. But yeah, the last thing is, you guys know I haven't done a day vlog in months, but what I finally decided is I think I will officially cancel the day vlog series. And why is because I've always said that the only reason I make them is for like my memories to look back on and whatnot. But what I've recently like realized is, why do day vlogs when I have my personal Instagram, which I pretty much post and talk about every single thing I show in the day vlogs. Like whenever I make a new drawing, I'll post it on there and talk about it. Whenever I make like a new custom Lego minifigure, a new custom movie prop, whenever I get a new movie or whatever, like I'll post about all that on there. So yeah, so basically if you guys want to see that, because I just don't really feel the need to do day vlogs anymore when I'm doing that. If you guys want to see that, you guys can see my Instagram, which is basically down below is linked to my BW2 Save the World Instagram thing. But the only other accounts I'm following on that page is my personal Instagram, my photography Instagram, and Fortnite. So yeah, so if you want to check that out, you can just go to that, because I post everything on there. And you might be wondering, the only other thing that was on day vlogs that's kind of important is like movie reviews. So I think I will probably just not do movie reviews for like every movie, just like the main big ones, and then I'll probably just make it a whole separate video from now on, like I did with Avengers Infinity War and Endgame and Deadpool 2 and whatnot. Yeah, so I will probably keep on updating my movie poster wall and whatnot. As you can see, I still have some right here, and I'm working on updating my Star Wars one because I did go see the new Star Wars. So yeah, so just for a little review on that, I would do a whole review on that, but I gotta get this video out and whatnot. So yeah, so Star Wars Episode 9, it was pretty darn good. We went to go see it at the Base Theater, which wasn't like that great, but it recently got updated, so now it's not like free movies. Once they come out on DVD, now they actually show like big movies right when they come into theater. But they also like massively upgraded like the lobby, and then once you go in, they like upgrade like to the surround sound. The sound quality still isn't amazing, but we're also sitting towards the back. But then also like the graphics just looked even better. So yeah, that's really awesome because now you have to pay, but it's a lot cheaper than our main movie theater, and pretty much our main movie theater is not that great either. Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. So we went to go see it there, and we went to go see it, and it wasn't even that packed because of course it's on base. Only like authorized personnel can get on there. Yeah, so we went and saw that there, and it wasn't super packed, and we went and saw it on the second day it was in theaters. So yeah, finally saw The Rise of Skywalker. And overall, a lot of people are absolutely hating on it, and yes, I would agree. I thought it was kind of a mess. I feel like a lot of it was kind of thrown together, and I did not really like all the plot devices. I don't really want to spoil any of it, but yeah, there's a lot of convenient plot devices, like, oh, this person just so happened to think of that, or like, oh, this is just that, like, shows them where this is for whatever reason. It doesn't make any sense, but okay. But yeah, so, but overall, the ending, like, how is, I can just say it was kind of like an Avengers Endgame-esque type of ending. But I thought that was pretty darn cool. There was a couple times where I almost started tearing up, and getting chills and whatnot, but it was pretty exciting on some parts. And I definitely liked like the returning characters, and I like how they handled most of the characters. But easily, I think over the whole trilogy, Kylo Ren or Ben Solo was the best character, just his arc and whatnot. Because the bad thing about like Finn is his arc kind of ended at the first movie, so ever since then he's kind of just been there. And Rey, I don't know, I just feel like she kind of did, but at the same time, in a way, for some reason, I just kind of feel like I was restarting with her every movie. Like, she just kind of felt new each movie for some reason. But yeah, so overall, I would say it was better than The Last Jedi, which a lot of people are even saying The Last Jedi is better. But I was saying, like, you know how much you were dissing on The Last Jedi when that came in, and now you're saying this one's even worse. But yeah, I don't think it's worse than that, and I also think it's better than Episode 2 and 1. I actually put a ranking. I was talking to people on Discord, and I took a picture of my rankings because I ranked it for them. But yeah, so I said I'd rank them from worst to best. So this is my least favorite one to my most favorite one. So yeah, so Attack of the Clones, my least favorite one. Then The Phantom Menace, The Last Jedi, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith, Solo, The Force Awakens, The Rise of Skywalker, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and The Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, so that is my ranking of all of them. But yeah, I'd still recommend going and seeing it. So yeah, I've now seen every single Star Wars movie, and some of them a few times. But yeah, so also, it's pretty special for my dad. I'm actually working on a drawing right now. But yeah, it's gonna be like it's just gonna be like a culmination, like drawing of stuff from the whole Skywalker saga. Because if you guys don't know, every single like live action Star Wars movie and Star Wars: The Clone Wars and a lot of the comics and Star Wars Rebels and whatnot, they are all part of the Star Wars saga, which, if you don't know, started with A New Hope back in, well, technically started with Episode 1, but, you know, the first movie that came out was A New Hope back in 1977, and my dad has been a huge fan ever since. You guys know he has those action figures and whatnot, from all the way back then, and, yeah, so, he's been a huge fan of Star Wars. He's actually seen every single movie in theaters, throughout his life, so this is pretty huge for him as well, because this is the end of a saga that he's went and saw every movie in theaters for the past 42 years. So yeah, so that's that. But yeah, and I also saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is the ninth film by Quentin Tarantino, which is pretty darn good. Definitely didn't feel like a Quentin Tarantino movie for a lot of it, but I absolutely loved how most of the movie was. And then all of a sudden at the end, I was not expecting the twist. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a big old twist at the end. Quentin Tarantino is not usually meant for twists. He's usually a guy that just like chops apart the story and then just scatters it all over the place, and then you kind of make it up yourself and like how the order goes and whatnot. But this one, it was basically just a story. There were some weird like flashbacks and like imagination scenes and whatnot. But yeah, all of a sudden at the end, I was just like, oh, here comes this scene because it happened in real life. But all of a sudden, I was just like, oh, well, that happened in real life, but definitely not like this. Yeah, but then he just let himself go, and of course you guys know he's known for his hyperviolence, and yeah, it was actually not in this movie at all really, but also in that last part definitely was, and it was pretty darn awesome. So yeah, so I liked it quite a darn bit. Also, I mean, it's a movie about like Hollywood and whatnot, and you guys know I'm quite a decent sized film fan. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode. So I think I pretty much talked about everything. So yeah, so stay tuned if you want to see the little clip of my keyboard that I got a few months ago at this point. But yeah, still working absolutely fine for me, by the way. And also, if you guys haven't checked it out, the website has been updated, so link down in the description as always. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my little reviews, and I think I'll still put it on the thumbnail that I did a review for the new Star Wars, just because I usually have been for the past Christmas episodes. So yeah, so don't know if I'm gonna make a video on New Year's. Last year I just did it on the like Fortnite New Year's event, because usually there's not enough content with New Year's to like make a whole video on it or whatever. But this year, of course, it is a big 2020, but so far from the leaked files and whatnot, it's showing that the Fortnite event's pretty much going to be the same as last year, but just with 2020, so I don't know, we'll see. But if there's no video, then that's why. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. So this might be the last time you see me just talk in my room for a while, since there's no more day vlogs or anything. Yeah, but hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Make sure to check out my Instagram if you just want to see my life updates. I will still, of course, do them like on Christmas videos and whatever videos, my birthday episodes and whatnot on this channel. But other than that, it's pretty much just going to be skits, filming, gaming, and whatever else. So yeah, I just don't really feel the need to do updates like this, because I'm pretty sure there's maybe one person that actually watched all the way through, and whatnot, and I didn't even watch all the way through. I just watched some parts if I want to remember something later on in life or whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. Just make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!